Jai Ma Bhagavati. Jai Ma Bhagavati. Jai Ma Bhagavati. I offer my respects unto Swami Vivekananda, unto Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and unto Oba Funfuni Bae, my godfather Guru. Our Sutta Goswami continues addressing the assembly of sages gathered within the Naimisharanya forest. He is telling Shaunaka Rishi and all others present. He says, I call to my mind the mother of all worlds. Yes, she who creates this entire universe, whose nature is simultaneously what is considered to be real, as well as that which is considered to be unreal. She is that which is manifest, as well as that which is unmanifest. By exercising her triune nature, she creates, preserves, and destroys. And she engages these propensities in an inimitable and most expert manner. In Sanskrit, please listen now, these three tendencies of nature found everywhere are simply called, when seen as an indivisible trinity, well, when seen in this manner, this trinity of qualities is called Tri-guna. Now, Tri means three, while Guna means quality. So now, we break it down even more. However, in this vlog, I will focus on the first one, the first Guna, quality. First we have Sattva. Sattva is usually just called goodness, but I beg to differ slightly here. For goodness, from culture to culture, from time to time period, is a highly relative concept, and so anyone with the brain capacity of a goat can understand this point I've just made. However, this is not what Sattva is. Not by a long shot. The eternal goodness of Sattva arises out of a certain clarity of consciousness, which then impels one to act in certain ways. And these ways of good clarity, if you will, may and do change according to time and circumstance. So you see, we must be careful, extremely careful, before we just accept something at face value. It is never wise to accept knowledge blindly, for then the very notion of knowing something becomes a mockery to the meaning of said term, namely knowledge. And why do you seek knowledge? Because we want to know. And just how can you acquire real, organic knowledge if you are too afraid to discover, realize, and know for yourself? And now I am about to spank that rascal, theological ass that has caused so much division and confusion throughout the ages. However, my spank will only feel like a mosquito bite, because folks, we are dealing with one of the biggest assholes ever. The religious establishment. So, what the diseased, all too patriarchal right-hand path has done, among a zillion other travesties, and there is a balanced expression of the right-hand path, only we will hardly ever see it due to the nasty way in which certain collective power groups have kept on exploiting the earth and the people living within it. So, as I began to say, one thing out of a zillion others that these ancient rascals have done is say that Sattva means goodness. Quote-unquote goodness. A most clever ploy this has been, and continues to be, keeping the masses in a hypnotized obscurity. How can it be that goodness can be set up as a trap to keep the masses subjugated or overly docile? Well, the religious establishment the world over, seen as one abstract entity, has a big brother twin. He is what I call corrupt government. And no, I'm not merely talking about one nation here even. That would make it too easy. I'm talking about a conglomerate conscious energy which has been plaguing mankind and humanity for ages. Yes, I make a distinction between humanity and mankind, irrespective of what the dictionary says, but I'll get to this at a later date. Right now, I just want to tell you that Sattva means pure existence. The word Sattva means pure existence, not relative, biased, and socially confined notions of goodness. Therefore, it doesn't mean goodness per se. And yet it does, but in a noble sense when one considers that a clear awareness embraces existence purely, everywhere. Then that which I will simply called true goodness arises. But you see, he or she must embrace their very own existence before one can enter into this clear and conscious state. Sattva means pure existence. One who realizes this thoroughly comprehends that acceptance of nature starts with oneself, but also extends infinitely unto all beings, conceivable and inconceivable. Also, such a person, though appearing to act in all manner of ways, even experiencing joy and sorrow just like everyone else, anger and disappointment just like everyone else, exhilaration and fear just like everyone else, still, there is a difference. For such beings know that all of this is the endless play of Mahamaya Ma, our great magical mother. And they also realize that to act from such an awareness can only produce true goodness, I meant. For such actions are not based on striking a deal with some despotic lord in order to gain his or her favor. No. There is no ulterior motive involved in the actions of such a one. Such a rare soul only acts out of what he or she considers their sacred duty to carry out, their true wills, not really hankering for victory, nor really troubled by defeat. Only such a mindset can personify what Sattva, pure existence, is. Herein, I find the true meaning behind the popular Crowley axiom, "Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the Lord." Also, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says somewhere, I have a pet peeve about memorizing verses and chapters because I've seen the pomposity that it breeds. Me? I prefer to capture the essence of priceless things, regardless of where they came from. Well, somewhere in the Gita, it says that one must be inwardly alike in praise or blame. However, that doesn't mean that one won't engage in the mankind drama. I mean, our mother, Mahamaya, is a consummate actor. And so are all her children, whether they are members of an actors guild or not. And lastly, the Triguna, the three qualities of nature, I will say. Because you have material nature and you have spiritual nature. And they are both composed of combinations of these three qualities of nature. To enter into a higher sphere, to ascend, truly ascend, we have to get past this dichotomous view of nature versus spirit. The Triguna, and I've mentioned these in previous videos here already, is composed of three cardinal qualities. Cardinal, I guess, meaning most important. These are Sattva, of which we haven't even scratched the surface of. Rajas, passion, desire, will, and Tamas, inertia, ignorance, unknown. Hari Om. Jai Ma Bhagavati. 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 All day and all night, in the darkness and in the light. Jai Ma Bhagavati. Jai Ma Bhagavati. Jai Ma Bhagavati.